Today we are in an old little city, which is gonna be cool, and we're gonna grab some photos for my Instagram. Well, we got rained out, guys, so.
Let's talk about love. I'm feeling alright. Let's talk about love.
What up, guys?
What's up?
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Uncle ZZ and I are over here, and we are actually working on a very special project, something that's very personal and special to me. I am doing a lot of stuff these days with type 1 diabetes, you guys. What that means is basically over on my Instagram, I am working along with ZZ, my photographer dude over here, to bring some inspiration and motivation and education about type 1 diabetes, bringing awareness and all that good stuff, you guys. It's pretty amazing. I just did my very first IGTV video, so I'm gonna link that down below. Make sure you guys go check that out and share some love. Let me know what you guys think. Today we are in an old little city, which is gonna be cool, and we're gonna grab some photos for my Instagram so I can begin to tell the stories of my diabetes journey. I think it's gonna be really cool. You ready, ZZ?
Oh, I'm so ready. Let's get it.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Let's get it.
Appreciate you.
I'm singing in the rain.
Rain or shine, the show don't stop, bro. Oh man, you guys, we're out here getting these photos like I was telling you guys, and it just started coming down. Like, it is raining, and of course I was trying to go for that moody look, but dude's amazing. I'm gonna link his Instagram down below. Go follow him right now. Like right now, but here we go. Well, we got rained out, guys, so we hopped in the car, and of course, low blood sugar moment. That's the stuff you don't see in the pictures, but I'm like, whoa, a little bit of low blood sugar hitting, eating some mangoes, and then we got some just regular daily stuff to do after this. The kids are coming home soon. I don't know when, but we'll get together then. Didn't it kind of sound like I was going into that song?
Yeah.
ZZ, I appreciate you taking those pics.
I got
Did we get anything cool?
Yeah, there's a few really good ones in there.
And now, our feature presentation.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya.
What's up, guys? I'm gonna be hitting the topics about the highs and lows of diabetes.
I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes.
I'm a type 1 diabetic. If you're unfamiliar with what that means I rely on insulin. I'm insulin dependent to stay alive.
Type 1 diabetes is a condition in which the pancreas produces little or no insulin.
Today, I want to specifically talk with you guys about the day that I was diagnosed with diabetes and everything that got me to the point of where I'm at now in my journey with diabetes. If you're a diabetic, make sure you go comment on my recent photo on Instagram and let me know your diagnosis story. So I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 21 years ago. That means my diabetes is officially a grown adult, so it can start taking care of itself, right? Okay, maybe that's a little far-fetched there because I'm over here like, bad diabetes. When I think back to being diagnosed, I was super sick. I was riding my bike, I was 14 years old, and I remember just like one day laying down in the grass. Like all of my friends were like riding, and I was just like, I couldn't even ride my bike anymore. I ended up just like laying down after school on the side of the road, and the grass was on a little hill. My house was a couple streets over, and I just felt like I didn't even have the energy or the strength to be able to keep riding to even just get 2 streets over to get back home. It was insane. It was kind of scary. I was really confused, and I remember finally getting home and just crashing on the couch. I don't even know how I got home. That part's Mom was like, what are you doing? You need to clean up and do your homework. You're being lazy. And I'm like, Mom, I'm telling you, I'm not feeling good. Eventually, I was, at the time, at 14, I was already like 6 foot tall. I'm 6'4", by the way. I think it was around 6 foot, and I dropped all the way down to 98 pounds. It was really scary. People thought I had leukemia. People were all freaking out. They didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. I was really scared. They thought maybe mono. So I went to the hospital with my parents. I'm sitting there. This was the furthest thing that I ever expected. Completely caught me off guard. The doctors draw my blood, they do some tests. I'm sitting there 15, 20, 30, 40, I don't even know how long minutes. And they come out and they go, we got your results back, and you're diabetic. And I'm like, and I threw a little fit like a little kid. I kind of like kicked my foot out. I was so frustrated. I'm like, no way. That's because I only knew one diabetic my entire life. This is crazy. One diabetic my entire life. And who that diabetic was an old woman. She was very unhealthy. She was pretty much, I think she was legally blind. Kidney failure. She was missing some toes. I think she was getting a leg amputated. Really scary, crazy stuff. And I all remember she, you know, boom, doing shots. And needles freaked me out. Needles still freak me out. But anyway, it was a very emotional day. It kind of feels like Twilight Zone, like it's all just kind of blurred. You know what I mean? It was a long time ago, but it still is just kind of hazy and uncomfortable to think about, you know? Years go on, right? A year goes on, and at this point, there is no insulin pump. So I'm sitting there sucking insulin out of one of these guys, and these guys, boom, big one in the leg, fast-acting insulin in the ribs. What scared me about the only diabetic that I knew, and this is the whole point, right? This is what diabetes looked like to me. It looked like the old lady who was blind, missing toes, getting the leg chopped off, stabbing herself with needles all the time, right? That's what I pictured. I got diagnosed and I thought to myself, that's my future. That's my future. I'm screwed. This is hard. I can't cope with that, right? So that's what diabetes looked like to me. And that's the whole point of everything I'm doing, you guys, is I want to be able to help break down stigmas about diabetes and also show the world what diabetics can do. It's pretty incredible, guys. I don't know that there's much of a limit to anything at this point. That's incredible. With the technology and the devices and everything we have today, we can accomplish so much. So for 10 years, I had a really hard time because I thought, well, maybe this will go away, right? Maybe healthy eating will fix this, because I wasn't fully educated the way that maybe I should have been, or maybe I didn't pay attention. Maybe it was the adjustment to the lifestyle that's hard as a 14-year-old boy who was eating junk food and drinking soda all the time. Also, to fit into a crowd of people where every single person around me did not understand the disease, was not educated, and I felt like I didn't feel normal. I didn't feel like I fit in anymore. I felt like none of my friends get me. My parents don't understand me, even though they were incredible and incredibly supportive. So I kept thinking that maybe the disease would go away. Then I hear about a cure and I'm like, oh my gosh, every single year a cure's coming out for diabetes. It's the greatest thing ever, right? It never happened. So I started getting like, okay, 10 years in, 11 years in, right? I realized, wait a minute here, this is never going away. So I have one or two options: give up, like the diabetic that I pictured that I would turn into, or become a new diabetic, become the person who I'm going to be with diabetes. You see what I'm saying here? And I chose health. I chose, wait a minute, I don't have to look like this. I've got the technology. What an amazing time to be alive with diabetes, right? I've got things like blood sugar testers where I can constantly test, and back then it was still pricking the finger. I know that's gone now. That's amazing news. Shout out to you, Dexcom. You know who you are. We've got continuous glucose monitors, and we've got insulin pumps. This is insane. And I remind myself to stay positive, because the future of diabetes is incredible, and maybe someday there will be a cure. For me, coping with diabetes came down to choosing positive thinking over negative thinking. Every single day battling it. Had a bad day yesterday, blood sugars were high, or whatever, it happens. Remember, there's always tomorrow. One thing I heard from Casey Neistat, which is one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard: if you don't start doing something today, you might not ever do it. So that's what I'm doing, you guys. I wanted to make videos. I wanted to start today. I'm in the process of making new clothing to kind of go along with what I'm doing here. Highs and Lows is the name of my new clothing company. It's pretty amazing. I'm super excited. It has not hit the market just yet, you guys. But part of what I told you is diabetes looks like this. The future of diabetes is going to continue to get better. The technology will continue to get better, and diabetes management will continue to get better. Keep the positivity, guys. You can see her on the back of my shirt. Boom. This is what diabetes looks like. Remember, negative thoughts cannot produce positive actions. All right, guys, I will see you guys next time.